Hi everyone, City Manager Charlie Bush here from the City of Sequim to provide you a weekly update that I just provided to the City Council. I'm going to start out with the Transportation Benefit District this week. We're starting discussions with an internal team looking at renewal of the Transportation Benefit District. The district will stop collecting funds in early 2020. We're starting work early on this, and we're evaluating the possibility of running a ballot measure in 2018, so a couple years early. For whatever reason, in case it were to fail, it would give us opportunity to continue to listen to the public even more and to reform our efforts around doing it again in perhaps 2019. So that's what we're thinking about on the TBD, but we started meeting. We're going to be talking with council very soon, giving a transportation update, and we'll cover some of the TBD there, and then go from there in further discussions with council as things continue to march along. So that's the Transportation Benefit District. For those of you who don't know, that is a sales tax, special sales tax that the city collects that goes entirely based on statute to road improvements, to make safety improvements and relieve congestion in our city. And it's really helped us keep our streets in better condition. Represents about $500,000 to the city each year that we use on roads. So that's the Transportation Benefit District. Next up, we had a situation where we had a resident in Cary Blake Park helping some homeless people who have been spending time there during the day. And she appealed to us to let us know about the situation and wondered if perhaps the Police Benevolence Fund could be of assistance, or if there were other resources. And Joe Irvin in the city manager's office did a great job of working with the police department, Sergeant Mike Hill, and Sergeant Hill responded to the park along with some Serenity House staff. They were able to help one of the homeless people find housing, and we're getting ready to outreach to the next two. And I just think this is a great example of interdepartmental collaboration, interagency collaboration, and direct service to the public. So kudos to both Mike and Joe for that one. I'm going to be attending a meeting with the prospective airline that's looking at providing service to Fairchild Airport, and that'll be in the month of February. So council, just wanted to make you aware of that. That'll be in Port Angeles, and I'll let you know more after I go to that meeting. We've also begun implementation of the Economic Development Plan. Our team meets monthly, has been meeting for a while, but we shifted gears this month and just had our meeting and started really focusing now on implementation of the Business Retention Expansion Program. So we're starting to develop materials and we're starting to collect materials that we'll be able, and we're working on our questionnaire that we'll be able to take out to businesses once we start visiting them this upcoming summer. We also heard a presentation from a company called Buxton. Buxton helps retail companies find locations throughout the country, large retail chains often, and they also help cities figure out how to market themselves towards retailers. And so we heard a presentation from them. It was very interesting. They're using big data in some really interesting ways. And so I just want to let you know we saw that, and I included a link in the weekly update. It's on our website for those of you who may be watching this video who might want to see it and check out their website and their services. Cold weather bench installation. So our crews down at Cary Blake Park did some amazing work to get a bench installed. It was a donated bench, and what follows is an email that went from Ty Brown, our operations manager, to our streets lead, Rick Irish. And Ty told Rick, and I'm going to paraphrase, but he got an emotional phone call from a resident who had donated the bench. She was really thankful for all the work of our crew through the winter to get this bench installed despite snow and rain and ice. They were able to pour concrete and get the bench in time for her family to show up from out of town. Everything was placed perfectly. And Ty was just really happy with the work of the crew, and I'm really happy with the work of the crew as well. Obviously, this resident is, and the work of Ty and our Public Works Department. They're just collecting kudos almost on a weekly basis now, and this is another great example of small town friendly customer service, just doing a great job to meet the needs of the customer. The Alliance for Innovation, I had an opportunity to go. I'm a board member in that organization, and to go to an event over in Bellevue this week. It was an innovation lab on civic engagement. I heard a great presentation by the city of Tacoma on their arts program and some of the things they're doing with arts, including using artists to help engage the community in problem solving in some really interesting ways. So I picked up a few nuggets there, some things we'll be talking about internally. I also saw a presentation by King County on their social media presence and how they're strategically going about doing that. They've trained a whole team of people. Obviously, they're a huge organization, but the different things they're using, the techniques they're implementing can easily be scaled to an organization of our size. So we're talking more about that and how we might do that. They're also working with a new platform that is like SurveyMonkey for but with an open face. So it's a big public survey tool. The company that provides that is called Peak Democracy. And so we're not going to implement that right away, but we're certainly going to take a look at that and ponder how that might work for us in the future. So it was a really good opportunity for all of that learning, and it was just a 3-hour session. And also some networking afterwards. I had an opportunity to do a little bit of outreach to some potential candidates for a couple of our upcoming opportunities we'll have here at the City of Sequim. And I also got to have a discussion with somebody regarding our upcoming inclusiveness discussion that I've been talking about the last few weeks related to the incident of hate crime that happened in the school district and kind of how we want to have a community conversation around that going forward. So it was a really productive use of my time, and I'm glad I went, and that's why I wasn't here Thursday afternoon and a little bit of this morning, Friday. Big Ideas, the Big Ideas Conference, another Alliance for Innovation event. I attended their conference in October. I have provided the council a summary of that. You can go on their website, the Alliance for Innovation website, if you're curious in checking that out as well. The conference theme was technology and big ideas. The format is 100 really talented or more, but just over 100 really talented people get together and really just go to work on envisioning and kind of advancing a bunch of ideas in a theme. And so we did that, and some real insights came out of the conversation, including some insights here that we're putting into place at the City of Sequim, including a new council goal in our midterm that looks at creating a technology adaptation plan, something to think about. Which technologies do we want to be proactive about in our community? Which maybe do we want to be more passive about? And are there things out there that we know about that maybe cause us more concern? And so we're going to get into that discussion over time in the next 3 to 4 years. It's out there a little ways. We may do it a little sooner, but then this will be something we'll refresh probably every year to at least look at kind of what's emerged, what's changed, have our thoughts changed on these topics. So that's out there, and the Big Ideas Conference summary is out there as well. And lastly, we had promised Representative Steve Theringer we would provide some reclaimed water statutory changes. Purple Pipe, we have a reclaimed water facility, a water reclamation facility here at the city, and we have some Purple Pipe that services places like Carrie Blake Park, keeps them really green, and that's Class A reclaimed water, meaning it can be used for irrigation. There are some rules in state law that treat Class A reclaimed water the same as wastewater, as untreated sewage water, and we're looking for some changes in that area. And Representative Theringer had asked for that information, so we've drafted it up. We sent it off to him. We're not sure if it'll necessarily be a part of this legislative session, but we now have a bill that we're proposing at the legislature, and we'll continue to pursue that in the future, if not this year. It would help the city greatly make better use of reclaimed water in more pragmatic ways. And that's the weekly update for this week, the week of the 27th of January. Hope you all are doing well out there. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves.